Hey Keith, I was thinking it would be best for us to get a divorce.
What, Alyssa? What's going on? You haven't been home for 2 nights and now this. What happened?
What's with that attitude? You lost your job and can't support me anymore. So I thought I'd do you the favor of staying at my parents' house to save some money for a while. And now you're acting like I'm the bad guy here? Seriously, grow up.
That again. Come on, Alyssa. You never gave me a chance to explain to you why I'm unemployed right now.
Your company went bankrupt, right? I already know all about it. That's not the problem here. The problem came after that. You were all like, my friend invited me to come work at his company. Like, for real? Well, congratulations. You used your connections to get ahead. Whoop-de-doo. Glad you're working out your privilege.
Okay, that's not fair. Just because I happen to have an in at that company doesn't mean I'm doing anything underhanded. And yeah, it all started when my last company went bankrupt, you're right. But while I was looking for a new job, my friend just so happened to be starting up his own company. He asked me to help him out, and I agreed, that's all.
How does that change the fact that you're nothing but a Nepo baby?
For crying out loud, Alyssa. This sort of thing happens all the time. I'm not a Nepo baby. Do you even know what that term means? I'll have you know that the reason my friend asked me to help him get his company going was because he knew what a skilled businessman I am. I didn't do anything wrong. That's not nepotism. That's meritocracy.
Ugh, I'm tired of this conversation. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Alyssa, wait. Talk to me. Hey, Alyssa. You stopped by the house this afternoon, didn't you?
I've been wanting to move my stuff out the house, so I thought I'd stop by on the day that I knew you had work.
You moved your stuff out? Why?
You still don't get it. Do I really need to spell it out for you?
No, I've got no idea what this means. That thing you left on the living room table, I have absolutely no idea what it is or what it's for.
Oh my god, you're so pathetic. Can't you tell by looking at it? I don't know, maybe this is the first time you've ever seen one of these in person. But it's not like you can read plain English. Ugh, what is written on the top page?
What am I supposed to be reading?
Were you always this dumb? It says, in black and white, clear as crystal, divorce agreement.
Oh.
Look, I know you were always more of a numbers guy than a books guy, but you can read, right? You're not completely illiterate, are you? Anyone with a 5th grade education should be able to read that.
So this is a divorce agreement?
Yes, that's what I've been telling you. I already signed everywhere I needed to, so hurry up and sign it, then submit it to the courthouse, got it? I don't want to have to wait one more day to marry my new boyfriend. Send me the text once you finish everything and submitted it, and do it as soon as possible.
Hey, Eugene. Sorry to bother you so early in the morning. You got a minute? Oh, hey, Keith. What's up? The company you started, it has employee housing, right? Yeah, a couple of the guys I hired were single dudes from out of town, so I thought it would be good to help them out a bit. My dad owns a couple apartment buildings, so I'm renting one of them from him to use for employee housing. Are there any openings left? Wait, what? I mean, yeah, there are, but they're not really designed for couples. Yeah, about that. I'm not going to be in a couple for very much longer, it seems. Huh? Hold on, are you saying you're getting divorced? Yep. What the? You've barely been married for what, 2 years now? What in the world happened between you? It's kinda hard to explain. Is it about you losing your job after the last company went bankrupt? I guess that could cause some relationship strain. Well, it's not really the main cause, but you could say that it was the first domino in the chain. Did you tell her that I'm hiring you to work at my company? Maybe that would reassure her. Yeah, I did. And it actually just made matters worse. I'm very confused. don't get me wrong, I definitely don't blame you. It's not your fault at all. She said that because you're my friend, that me getting hired into your company makes me a Nepo baby. A Nepo baby. As far as I'm concerned, you're the most qualified person for the job I can think of. That's why I hired you. Yeah, I know that. And I'm incredibly grateful. I'm excited about it too. This is going to be a really challenging and rewarding position for me. Okay, well, it makes me feel a lot better to hear you say that. You're going to be making a decent amount more than you were at your old job, so I don't see any reason for your wife to be anything but ecstatic. I'm sorry I had to drag you into my personal affairs. I just thought that you deserved to find out sooner rather than later. I don't know what her problem is with getting hired through connections, but she was really ticked off when I told her. And that bizarre prejudice of hers is the sole reason our relationship has turned to complete chaos these last few days. Sorry to hear about that, man. But come to find out, there's actually a much bigger issue at play. Yeah? What is it? Well, yesterday, I found out that my wife actually has a totally unrelated reason for being so ridiculous about getting hired into your company. Go on. She's seeing another guy. What? Seriously? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm betting she thought if she divorced me while I'm unemployed, she could get a better share of the assets during our divorce proceedings. However, you inviting me over to your company threw a wrench into her plans, since it meant that I'd be getting a new and better job a lot sooner than she had planned on. So she's just doing the whole "you're a Nepo baby" act to buy time. If she can either delay me joining your company or get the plan nixed altogether, all the better for her, right? Ah, yeah, that would make sense. I suppose the next step for you is to get a lawyer and talk about the divorce with him. Or maybe you should look into your wife's boyfriend. You could hire a private detective to look into him so you can really sock it to your wife in court. Actually, I can skip that step. I've already figured out who her boyfriend is. His name, where he lives, everything. Wow, really? That was fast. I bet that most guys in a position like mine would be pretty depressed about the situation, blame themselves, and just in general have a pretty negative outlook on life. But honestly, noticing the critical clue that Alyssa left for me has actually made this pretty interesting for me. She was careless in a rush to divorce me, and now it's my turn to get back at her. Of course, I'll still get a private detective so I can get some hard evidence to use in court. Well, I'm not really sure I understand the situation, but I'm glad you're having fun, I guess. Anyway, for the time being, I should go ahead and get a room for you ready in the company apartment, right? Yeah, I'd really appreciate you taking care of that for me. Gotcha. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. If I need anything, you'll be the first person I'll call.
Keith, what is going on? What is this? I got this massive stack of papers from you in the mail today. And it says that you're suing me? Oh, you better explain yourself. And if anything, I should be the one suing you.
Ah, I'm glad to hear the papers arrived already. Thanks for letting me know you got them. They should have been laid out clearly in the documents. Didn't you read them? I'm suing you for your infidelity.
What? Excuse me? Infidelity? I was never unfaithful to you. You had better have some solid evidence to back up such an outrageous claim.
Oh, want evidence?
Uh-huh, yeah, I knew it. You don't have nothing to prove that I did anything.
That's not it. I just thought it would be obvious from the massive stack of documents I sent you that I have more than enough evidence to convince a jury that you cheated on me.
Well then, show me the evidence! Either put up or shut up!
Okay, fine. Scroll up.
Scroll up? What do you mean?
I guess you really didn't realise it, huh? Like I said, scroll up in this chat window to the day you moved all your stuff out the house and read your messages again. Alright. You were the one who told me about your boyfriend.
Hold on a second. Oh, Okay, so this is obviously one big, huge misunderstanding. That was a mistake. I misspoke, that's all. I was just so tired that day that I got confused. I don't actually have a boyfriend. Man, you really missed it big time, huh? I mean, you didn't even think to ask me first? I could have explained all that to you and saved you all of this trouble. I mean, you really are so dense. But don't worry, I still plan on divorcing you, so go ahead and turn that divorce agreement into the courthouse as soon as possible, okay? Oh, and try not to get lost along the way.
Yeah. About that divorce agreement. You actually left your application for a marriage certificate by mistake.
What?
Yeah. And you filled it out completely too. Your name is on the wife line. And on the husband line is none other than your boyfriend's name. How is Mike these days?
Wait, no, that can't be! That marriage certificate is in the folder I have in my desk drawer, and I distinctly remember putting it in there.
If you're so confident, why don't you go ahead and check to see if it's in the folder right now?
It's not there! That's impossible though! When Mike gave that to me, I thought that I should be really careful not to lose it, so I put it in that folder right away. And the folder I left at our house was the one with the divorce agreement in it.
Yeah, I had a feeling you switched the folders by accident. But seriously, this all happened 2 weeks ago, and you still hadn't noticed? Ah, I see. So you were so afraid about losing it that you missed your chance to notice it was gone before it was too late. Mike's the guy that was hitting on you about a year ago, wasn't he? You still seeing him?
No, give me back the marriage certificate application!
How about this? I'll trade you the marriage thing for your divorce agreement. But before that, we need to settle the matter of your infidelity in court. Or you could talk to my lawyer and we can settle.
I don't have any money!
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. Your parents said they'd cover the bill for you. Isn't that nice of them? They're a great couple of people.
What?
Of course you're going to have to pay them back for it. They were very explicit about it not just being a gift, so I hope you're prepared for that.
You told my parents about everything?
I was just looking out for my own interests. Couldn't have you running away from paying me what you owe me, could I?
I'm gonna have to talk to Mike about this.
I wouldn't waste your time trying to contact him. I doubt he'll be very responsive to you.
What? Why?
I'm suing him too. I already sent him his package the other day.
Oh, wait. How do you even have his address?
Isn't it obvious? It was written on your marriage certificate application.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Coincidentally, Mike's parents are going to be paying his settlement to me just like yours are for you. They've taken away his phone and sent him to his uncle's company to work off the debt. I asked them what business his uncle was in, and they said, you're better off not knowing. They did say they were sure he'd be whipped into shape in no time, whether he likes it or not, so good news, I guess.
Oh no, I really screwed up.
Oh, you can say that again, but from now on, all of our communications will take place through my lawyer. You can give the divorce agreement you mixed up with your marriage certificate application to him. We'll talk more about the terms of our divorce after my lawsuit against you for infidelity is taken care of.
Well, after thinking it over, maybe we can work things out between us,
Not happening. Goodbye.
Wait, hold on, Keith, wait! I changed my mind! I don't want to get a divorce anymore! Keith, please!
Alyssa had been desperate to leave me and marry Mike for quite some time. It seemed like she thought that divorcing me while I was unemployed would allow her to get away scot-free. But after she blew up her own plan with one of the biggest switch-ups I've ever seen, combined with learning that she would never be able to see her dear Mike ever again, she hit rock bottom. She tried confronting me at the house that we used to live in together, but unfortunately for her, I'd already moved out. I'd already moved into the employee housing for Eugene's company by that time. Knowing she would never get a chance to speak to me again either, she fell even further into a depression. She snapped out of that pretty quickly. Her parents came along to collect on her debt. She's now stuck doing office work at a nearby company during the day and doing janitorial work at the same company during the night. According to her parents, as soon as she pays off every last cent that she owes them, they're kicking her out of the house and cutting her out of their lives. They've already got a lawyer working on writing her out of their will.
Hi, Sarah. Have you decided to quit your job yet? It's been 3 months since you married my son, Andrew. You need to focus on having children. The best way to do that is to quit your job and become a housewife. You know the reason you're having trouble having children? It's because you're always so tired after coming home from work.
Miss Jameson? I'm currently at work, so can we please talk about this later if it isn't urgent?
Oh, is that so?
I leave my smartphone on my desk due to work reasons. I get all sorts of messages related to work, so it's kind of distracting getting all sorts of messages from you.
Why not just quit the job?
You say that like it's so easy. I explained this before the wedding. But I can't just quit my job since I'm in an important position.
You're just complicating things, aren't you? There are probably tons of replacements for someone like you.
Actually, that's not really...
If you don't quit, you'll have to divorce, you know?
What?
It's your duty to give your husband's parents grandchildren.
You've got it wrong. You see, I eventually want to have kids too, but I can't just quit my job. Andrew understands this.
There's no way he does.
I thought he talked to you about this.
He's just being nice to you. That's not what he actually thinks. There's no way a child of mine would just forgive you being so selfish.
Selfish? But I just...
What you're doing is selfish no matter how you look at it. The husband's wife needs to prioritize what the mother-in-law says above all else. It's not an exaggeration if I say that you're my slave.
Your slave?
If you understand, then quit your job immediately.
Hi, Andrew. Do you have a minute?
Hey, Sarah. I just checked in the hotel and was just gonna take a bath. What's wrong?
Your mother told me again to quit my job.
What, again?
She even told me that I was her slave.
That's going too far. I thought I already explained the situation to her. Every time I talk to this about her, she gets hysterical.
I see. According to her, you also actually want me to quit my job, but are just being kind to me.
What? No. I only told her what I actually felt. The company's gonna be in huge trouble if you just quit.
Yup, it really can't be helped. I explained this when I met your parents before getting married, but she must have forgotten.
Well, my mom is the kind of person who won't listen to anything a person she thinks is beneath her says. Also, both my grandmother and great-grandmother were the type to quit their jobs once they got married. So maybe she saw this and assumed this was how things were supposed to be.
That reminds me. I heard from your dad that your mom quit her job as soon as she got married.
Yup, I've heard the same story before. Apparently, Mom really wanted to get married and half-forced Dad into it. Dad at the time was just 2 years into his job, so he actually wanted Mom not to quit her job. But Mom had apparently quit by the time he found out.
So he did struggle financially, huh?
Yup. Working after hours wasn't as looked down upon as it is today, so that's how he earned the money he needed until he got promoted and obtained a stable position at the company.
I see.
We've been talking for quite a while now. You see, Dad's asked me for advice or something concerning Mom.
Your dad?
Yes, I'll explain it to you when I get home. I'll be there tomorrow, so let's talk about what we should do about her from now on as well.
Alright. Sorry for bothering you while you're busy.
It's fine. It was an important matter. You can talk to me whenever.
Okay, thanks.
Well, good night.
Good night. Miss Jameson! What are you thinking, sending a letter of resignation in my name to the company I work at?
Oh, hi, Sarah. It's because you didn't seem to have the courage to quit by yourself, so I thought I would give you a push on the back.
What do you mean I didn't have the courage? I have no intention of quitting the job I have now.
But I already submitted the letter of resignation. You won't be able to stay at the company now, right? I should have done this all at the start. I wonder why I didn't think of it until now. Now I'm one step closer to being able to see my grandchildren, which means that you surrender and can't be mad anymore.
Well, no. I have no intention on quitting no matter what you do.
What?
If that's your attitude, then I understand. It's time for me to take action as well.
What? Action?
Goodbye!
Sarah, did you quit your job? Today's a weekday and yet you seem to be home. Or is it that you plan on using up your paid holidays before quitting? Sending that letter of resignation worked great. Well, I guess I better teach you how to be a housewife now.
Today's just a day off. Besides, there's no way something like that was going to be taken seriously.
What do you mean?
It was clear that that letter wasn't sent by me.
You're saying they didn't accept it?
Yup, it was sent to the shredder.
What? Do you know how much effort I put into that? That was the best one I made out of many.
It doesn't matter how much you made. They'll all go to the shredder.
Why, you? Is that how you talk to your superiors?
If you want to make it like that, then I'm not sure you have the right to be so condescending while you depend on your husband to get by.
What?
It seems that Mr. Anderson has been complaining about you to my husband lately. Apparently, you're not happy with your husband's salary?
I'm the one who manages the house. Just because I'm a housewife doesn't mean I have no right to complain.
Well, I guess being a housewife has its own unique difficulties. But even if you put that into consideration, telling your husband to work overtime so that he'll earn more money, even when the company doesn't allow it anymore, is pretty unfair. In my opinion, you should just get a part-time job.
What are you saying? It's the wife's job to stay at home and protect the house, and it's the husband's job to go out and earn money.
I don't completely disagree with that idea, but there are also times when things need to be done differently. However, I do find it hard to understand why you'd be unhappy with your family's income, since your son has a job and has been supporting himself for years, and your husband, even though he doesn't work overtime anymore, is still a manager at a major company.
Quit yapping! It isn't right for the wife to argue with her mother-in-law. Our family doesn't need a good-for-nothing like you. Divorce my son as soon as possible.
Yup, I turned in my divorce papers yesterday. Along with yours too.
What? My divorce papers? What are you talking about?
Weren't you the one who suggested divorce to Mr. Jameson? You said that if you didn't start working overtime again, you'd divorce him. You even gave him a form filled out with your sign on it, right?
Huh?
Mr. Anderson couldn't do anything about it since his company doesn't allow overtime anymore. So he signed the papers as well and came with me and Andrew, who also submitted our divorce papers.
What are you talking about? That's not what I meant.
I have no idea what you were planning on doing, but it's clear that you're the one who brought up divorce to Mr. Jameson.
That's not... I only meant to...
Well, there's really no point in me getting involved. Mr. Jameson is going to hire a lawyer, so talk to him instead.
A lawyer?
Apparently, he's going to sue you for cheating on him with a male stripper.
What?
Is that why you wanted your husband to work overtime so much?
No, that's not it.
I'll give the phone to Andrew now.
Andrew? Andrew, you're not just going to leave me, right? It seems that you divorced Sarah, so you'll be able to support me now that your father's divorced me, right? Let's get along from now on, okay?
It's true that me and Sarah got divorced, but we got remarried right after.
What?
I just wanted to change my last name.
What? What are you talking about? There's no way my child of mine would stick with such a useless bride. She's the kind of woman to send the letter of resignation I kindly sent for her to the shredder.
About that, it's unacceptable for someone to send a letter of resignation in the name of someone else in the first place. But what are you thinking, sending the CEO's letter of resignation to the CEO?
What? The CEO's letter of resignation to the CEO?
I told you this already, but it seems either you weren't listening or you forgot already.
What do you mean?
You see, Sarah owns a company.
What?
She's the daughter of the former CEO of the company, and she inherited it a year before we got married. By the way, I work at a company, and Dad works at a client company.
So the reason why she wouldn't quit her job, no matter how many times I told her, was...
Her quitting the job would be the same as disintegrating the family. That would also mean that hundreds of people, including myself, would lose their jobs. It would impact the company Dad works at as well. Even then, you'd tell her to quit?
But she's the CEO?
Also, Sarah's pregnant now.
Really?
But we're not gonna let you meet the child.
What? Andrew?
I don't want to consider someone who insults my wife and cheats on Dad as my mother, which is why I'm cutting ties with you.
Wait!
Goodbye!
A few days later, Miss Jameson found a cheap apartment she could move into immediately and left the house. Apparently, the money she used on male strippers was taken from her and Mr. Jameson's savings account. All she got from the divorce was the money needed for a new apartment and 2 months' worth of money to live on. Not taking any alimony was probably Mr. Jameson's final form of pity to his ex-wife, who was a housewife for 30 years. But still, it's hard to begin supporting yourself after you haven't had a job for 30 years. It seems that she's having trouble at the part-time job she was finally able to find. I saw her apologizing with tears in her eyes to a high schooler a few days back. Apparently, this male stripper she was cheating on Mr. Anderson with left her now that she has no money. Sadly, she'll probably die alone.